announced plans to build a mirrored glass skyscraper, The Line. It will be located in the desert and will cost the country $1 trillion. The Line is designed as a whole city, consisting of two parallel skyscrapers with a height of 500 meters, which will run parallel to each other through 170 kilometers of desert, coastal, and mountain landscapes. In this video, we will look at specific facts, whether this project is just a high-profile PR company, or whether it has a future. Consider the fierce competition of the countries of the Arab Peninsula, and analyze where Arabia is located, and why they are so loud about themselves. It is the largest country on the Arabian Peninsula, and its neighbors are Kuwait, Qatar, the UAE, and others. All these countries have one common problem. Oil production brings a lot of money, and analysts predict that it will last another 20-30 years. The global consumption of oil as an energy resource is gradually decreasing, and green energy should come instead. Each country began to propose its own action plan, a vision of a future without oil. It is based on a diversification of the economy with an emphasis on trade, world-class healthcare and education, as well as a favorable environment for foreign investment and businessmen. And infrastructure is mega projects that the whole world is talking about. In Saudi Arabia, such a mega project is NEOM. In fact, this is a region larger in area than the whole of Kuwait, which will focus on biotechnology, robotics, and green energy. It will include three cities: Trojana, a sports and recreation center where the ski track will be located; Oxagon, the center of the latest technologies, industry, and science; and The Line, which we will talk about in more detail. نقدم لكم The Line. مدينة مليونية بطول 170 كيلو تحافظ على 95% من الطبيعة في أراضي نيوم. صفر سيارات، صفر شوارع، وصفر انبعاثات كربونية. It is assumed that the city will become a link between the Red Sea coast and the northwest of Saudi Arabia. Visually, the line looks like a long and high rectangular mirror wall extending beyond the horizon. The line is designed for 9 million inhabitants and will occupy an area of 34 square kilometers. Residents will have full access to all necessary public amenities on foot and by high-speed rail with a 20-minute transit. Along with the line, it is planned to build a network of airports. An important component of the project is its ecological purity for the environment. The line will not pollute the environment with carbon dioxide emissions and other types of waste. It is assumed that the energy supply of the project will be carried out at the expense of the world's largest green energy power plant, as well as other renewable sources, solar, wind, etc. Thanks to this project, Saudi Arabia plans to create 380,000 new jobs and increase the country's GDP by about $50 billion. Another ambitious goal is to attract 100 million visitors a year and keep Saudi Arabia in competition with other tourist areas of the Persian Gulf, Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Prince Mohammed wants to complete the construction of the city by 2030, but according to engineers, it may take at least 50 years. The scale of the ambitions raises serious questions about whether the project will be able to achieve its goals in just a few years. Let's look at what the critics are saying. Carbon emissions. According to the calculations of architect Philip Oldfield, the materials used for the construction of such a project will lead to approximately 1.8 million tons of carbon emissions. This is more than the annual carbon emissions in many European countries. However, according to NEOM, they are exploring environmentally friendly technologies. In the future, these developments will have to reduce carbon emissions to zero. The project is promised to be built by 2030. Is there enough time to invent such technologies? Fear of foreign investors. Foreign investors and businessmen are concerned about the ultra-conservative investment climate in the country, which despite recent reforms remains the strictest in the region. For example, the skyscrapers in King Abdullah's financial district remain mostly empty, partly due to the fact that Riyadh is simply not attractive to Westerners. According to rumors, one of the ways to solve the problem is that the Saudi government allows the use of alcohol to attract foreign bankers. He has recently lifted bans on cinemas and Valentine's Day celebrations. Let's say the authorities will really take such measures to attract more foreign citizens. But will the locals be ready to put up with the dual policy of the country. Will there be any disagreements later between those citizens who share traditional Arab values and those for whom they are alien and incomprehensible? Impact on flora and fauna. Environmentalists are concerned. How can a 500-meter high mirror barrier reflecting desert heat and light and crossing the landscape for 170 kilometers affect the local flora? Most likely, this will have a negative impact on the environment. But on the other hand, the project is handled by professionals and they necessarily take this factor into account. Competition with neighbors. Saudi Arabia faces fierce economic competition in the GCC, including in areas such as mega projects, finance, and tourism, with the UAE being the main rival. Riyadh is trying to displace Dubai as the financial center of the region. An example is the Jeddah Tower in Saudi Arabia, whose goal was to surpass the Burj Khalifa as the tallest building in the world. The start of construction in Jeddah was followed by work on the Dubai Creek Tower, a project of unknown final height. Soon the project was put on pause, as was the construction of Jeddah Tower, and it seems serves only as a joker to deprive Jeddah of an attempt to set a world record and retain the title of the highest building in the world in Dubai. This lack of transparency and consistency is unattractive for international business. Let's look at other projects that everyone has forgotten about. Frozen projects. Saudi Arabia already has a history of abandoned mega